Hello students and welcome to G3E-learning class of English. Today we are going to do our first poem of photograph of class 11th written by Shirley Towson. The title, what depicts to you, my dear students? Yes, it depicts the memories. And why we click photographs? We click photographs to capture our happy moments. Similarly, Shirley Towson shares her memories about her mother. Looking at the photograph of her mother, the poet recalls how her mother would laugh while looking at the photograph and would recall how they were dressed for the beach where the photograph was taken. The mother is now no more. Nothing remains of her but memories. There is only a silence and a void to reflect upon by the next generation. The realities of change and death have to be accepted. So now let's start our poem. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling. The cardboard. Here cardboard means photograph. Shows how the two female cousins were paddling, and paddling means to walk about in shallow water in the sea. Each one holding one of my mother's hand, and she is big girl, some 12 years or so. In this line, each holding one of my cousins, my mother's hand. My mother was the eldest of the three, about 12 years old then. Means at that time poetess mother's age was 12 years old. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera, a sweet face. All the three girls smiled through their hair at their uncle's camera for a photograph. My mother's, that was before I was born. So it was the episode when the poetess was not born. It was the episode before her birth. And the sea, which appears to have changed less. The sea, which seems to have changed little since that time, washed off their footprints, washed their terribly transient feet. Here, terribly transient means short-lived. Here the transience of human life. Some 20-30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot, see Bitty and Dolly. She would say, and look how they. After about 20 or 30 years, mother would laugh at the photograph and pointing to her cousins and what their name was, Bitty and Dolly, would say that they were beautifully dressed, dressed us for the beach. The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter, both ray with the labored loss of ease of loss. The sea holiday was mother's past, her laughter is now the past for me. Both the moments are now permanently etched on my mind with the feeling of eternal loss. Here, my dear students, both Rai with the labored ease of loss. What this line means? This means that the change and death both are unavoidable. One has to accept them. With the passage of time, man loses much that is precious to him in life, and he is compelled to accept his loss with ease. His loss means loss. What the man has lost with ease. Ease means easy. In an easy way, he or she has to accept their loss. Now she's been dead nearly as many years. Here, the poetess tells us that now she, her mother, is long dead, and there is nothing much to be said about the sad event. The silence as that girl lived, and of these circumstances, there is nothing to say at all. Its silences. Means now there is nothing much to be said about the sad event. The silence seems to silence all about. Means read this line, and of this circumstance. It means there is nothing to say at all. The loss of her mother has left the poet speechless. She is haunted by the void her mother's death has created, and nothing is now left for her to speak about. And read this line also. Its silences. It means that death leaves behind silence. Its silences everything else in life. This silence reveals human helplessness against the harshness of death. So this is all about our poem. I hope you all have understood this. Now I am going to tell you which literary devices are used in this poem. First literary device is alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is the close repetition of the same sound in a line. So one example I'll give you, and the other you have to tell me. Okay, so now see the fourth line of this poem. All three stood still to smile through their hair. Here are the repetition of the sounds S and th, that is th. Okay, so now another examples you have to find out in the poem. One more literary device is used in this poem, and that is oxymoron. Oxymoron is a figure of speech in which two opposite ideas are joined to create an effect. For example, open secret. Both the words have a contradictory ideas. A secret is something known to only a select one or few. So how it could be open if there is a secret? One more example I'll give you. Working holiday. If there is a holiday, how it could be working? So now you have to find out the example of oxymoron in this poem. I hope you all have understood it well. Thank you so much.